The second round starts here. It's the Western Conference semifinals. Game 1 on EA Sports. We're ready for tip-off, and these fans are as well. It's their home team taking on the Utah Jazz. Hi, everyone. Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. Jay, you look at the Clippers coming into play. They're rested. They're ready to go. And they'll have home court advantage to begin here in games 1 and 2.
And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to this series right here. This is going to be a dogfight. We got a couple of teams that match up very well. I can see this one going to length. Yes, 7 games. That's how even these teams are.
Here comes the screen to Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris, strong finish. So far, so good.
Didn't take long to get this crowd on their feet. And one of the most undervalued things in sports, the 13th man, the fans. If they get you going in the game, they can help you sustain that energy.
Conley to Favors. Serge Ibaka pins it.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Paul George to Leonard. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Across the timeline, it's Conley just getting going here in game 1. Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for 2.
The pro game has really come down to P&Rs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
Leonard goes to the right side. To George. Kawhi Leonard. And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
Ed, the reality is that good jump shooters know how to get those calls. Overall, though, there's less flopping in the game, which is great. But there's something uncanny about certain players' abilities to get those calls on a regular basis.
Able to convert on both free throws. It's Jazz ball. Conley. Takes stock of the floor. Mitchell. Tough shot. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Conley. Here comes the screen. To Joe Ingles. The Jazz with 4 in the shot clock. Trying to cash in. Not that time.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
Conley into the front court. 8-2 our score. Joe Ingles to Conley. Over to the right side. Beverly into the front court. He'll run the offense. Shot from the lane won't go. Joe Ingles to Conley. To Gobert. From the painted area, won't go down. Beverly into the front court. Up 6. Has a look. Patrick Beverly. Missed his first. That one goes.
You know, Ed, people don't understand. Tough shots are practiced every single day. With all these different contraptions out there to contest your shot, guys shoot 500 made shots a day. This is the new norm.
Able to convert inside.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Leonard gets it in the right corner. To Leonard. Probing the defense. Surveys the floor. Here's Leonard for 2. And the rebound taken down by Mitchell. Mitchell with the basketball. 10-4 is the score. Baseline drive. Keep on trying. Shot's no good there. Beverly into the front court. They're looking to make something happen. To Leonard. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket.
Bread and butter. And there are few that can do it better off the screen.
Conley into the front court. Margins 8. Here comes the screen. Mitchell against Paul George. Serge Ibaka rejects it.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Beverly. Gobert. Mitchell to the basket, but he can't get it to go.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Utah's got it. Probing the defense. Has a chance. No good. No daylight. Great defense.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Mitchell with it up top. Trailing by 10. Shot's no good. You have to like the confidence, but that was a difficult shot.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
To Conley. Here comes the screen. 5 to shoot. To Conley. Fires the three. Very little's gone right in this first quarter, but with that three, you look at the scoreboard, they're back within 9.
And Ed, Rome was not built in one day. You can't rush the process. Just keep chipping away. Chip, chip, chip.
Leonard to Beverly. Kawhi Leonard, 4 out of 7.
Old school equals high percentage.
Utah with the possession. Conley. Ibaka to Leonard. George to Leonard. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
As a player, there's nothing better than coming out in the first quarter and playing exactly the same way you played the last couple of days of practice. You're moving the ball, you're capitalizing on mistakes, and you really built a nice lead.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. And he's going to the free throw line.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
First one, count it. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Beverly to Leonard. Serge Ibaka slams it down. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Paul George, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
There's certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Joe Ingles. Here comes the screen. Mitchell against Paul George. To Favors. Slam dunk, Derek Favors. Jay, perhaps that's a start.
Those kind of plays get me fired up. That's a momentum play. They looked lifeless here in the first quarter, but a dunk like that can get your team going in the right direction.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Beverly. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah. Sizing up the defense. He was hacked. They let it go.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss a shot before he even got off the ground.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. His guys down big. Mike Conley. First couple didn't go. That one is true.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
To Leonard. Not that time. Mitchell with the basketball. 14-point deficit. Conley against George. Clippers have the basketball. Beverly to Paul George. Throws it down.
Another possession they were forced to take a tough shot. This time they got to go, but they need to do something different to start creating more open look opportunities.
To Leonard. Nothing going here on that drive. Leonard to Beverly. Leonard. Smothering D.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Screen coming. Conley. Trying to cash in. Knocks it down. Off the step back.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Here comes the screen. Leonard. To George. LA with 4 to shoot. To Ibaka. Leonard. The pass set it all up.
That was a tough shot. The guy was in your pocket. He even contested the shot. Everything was going according to plan until then.
Jazz will take a timeout as they'll talk things over here in the first quarter. Some lineup changes now for both clubs. Mike Conley, 2 of 4 now.
Now, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but you have to take it one possession at a time. You have to continue to chip away. It hasn't been the best first quarter, but if you get a couple more of those to drop, you'll find yourself right back in this ballgame.
Nothing going here on that drive. Leonard, unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
And the Clippers able to clear the board. Leonard. Textbook defense. Desperation shot here from half court. We've reached the end of the first quarter here in Game 1. Jay and I return in a moment. You're tuned into the Western Conference semifinals on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Clarkson with the basketball. Down 12. Driving right to the basket. Split the D there, but he can't get it to drop. Clippers have got it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Paul George to Leonard. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. Short jumper won't go down.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
George to Leonard. George buries it on the catch and shoot. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively, he makes those clutch shots. It re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Paul George to Leonard. Has a look. Shot by Leonard won't go.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them doing is complaining to the ref, complaining to each other. You're making the game uncomfortable. That's the mark of a good defense.
Has a chance. Crowder's shot won't fall. George to Leonard. Rudy Gobert. Huge block. That's out. Last touch by Rudy Gobert. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Kennard. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket. Now whistle and a timeout for Utah as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. Clarkson. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
Keep your foot on the gas, but don't get too reckless.
Driving is Rondo, but his shot won't fall.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
It's good. If you don't stand in his way, he's going to make you pay.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Grayson Allen to Gobert. Clippers have it. To Leonard. Defense making the ball handler work. Cashes in. Someone has to get into a zip code.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
To Allen. Down low, Crowder. Can't miss those. Into front court comes Rondo. His guys hold a commanding lead. To Leonard. Nothing going here on that drive. Leonard. And throws it down.
Like my old coach used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's way too easy. Just keep attacking. It's easy money.
Jazz have the ball. New blood coming in for both sides. Leonard. A good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. To Favors. Scores from the post.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Leonard. Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Goes to the left side. Down low for Leonard. Cleans it up. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Trying to cash in. Mike Conley. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
So deadly. Now look, part of that is God-given talent. But the other part is that ball speed combined with that handle. Oh, that's off the charts. But he always finds a way to slow himself down right before he goes into that shot.
To Leonard. Conley into the front court. Down a bundle. Has a look. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
It's LA Clippers ball. Leonard. Add 2 points to the board.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Conley into the front court. Looking to make something happen. To Joe Ingles. Has a chance. Wide open look, won't go.
This game is all about the small victories, though. The execution on that play was on point. You keep executing like that, those shots are going in eventually.
To Luke Kennard. And he finishes at the rim.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Utah ball. Conley to Joe Ingles. Takes stock.
Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. To Leonard. Second effort. There you go. Way to stay with it.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Across the timeline, it's Conley. He'll run the offense. Joe Ingles to Conley. Trying to cash in. Conley shot off the mark. Rondo into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. To Leonard. Baseline drive.
Oh, he sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Grayson Allen lays it in.
Shoot. Shoot. Let me see that dance, boy. Let me see it.
Timeout called here by the Clippers as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Beverly to Paul George. Paul George. Now the defense has to adjust. He's 4 for 4 to start this one.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
To Conley. Knocks it down on the step back. That was not easy.
I don't know what halftime evaluation will be worse, the ankles or the bruised ego.
Paul George to Batum. Count it.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
LA Clippers with the basketball. To Marcus Morris. Batum. Probing the defense. To George. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Paul George fires. Favors with the rebound. Conley into the front court. His guys down big. Favors to Conley. From long range. Missed it. George to Marcus Morris. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
There's certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
To Conley. Nice pass to set things up. Whoa, what a finish.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Beverly into the front court. Final minute, first half. Paul George to Beverly. Serge Ibaka slams it down. This is becoming a runaway.
They're getting to the rim at will, probably because we're watching Matador defense. You probably want to get in the way of your defender if they keep trying to attack the rim.
Joe Ingles. Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for two.
For any fans out there that thought Donovan Mitchell didn't put any stock into the fact that he was not the Rookie of the Year, you are wrong. Donovan Mitchell is that type of guy that uses everything in his power to fuel him to be the best on the court each and every day. If that was a campaign he built with Adidas, rookie question mark, it doesn't matter. That perceived failure is something that will only make this kid better tomorrow.
A shot at the buzzer. It's good, just as the horn sounds. Inching a little closer, but still down at the break. It's halftime here in Game 1. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
Let's take a look at what went down so far in this one. The Clippers have built a comfortable lead. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Jazz did a lot of things wrong in that opening half. At this point, it's all about pride and mental toughness. A comeback is not impossible, but it's also not likely. These are the guys getting buckets for the Utah Jazz.
Game track. Assists.
The Utah Jazz are struggling to move the ball and create good looks for each other. What makes it worse is their opponent isn't having nearly the same problem.
Player of the half.
Kawhi Leonard has the defense figured out, and his shots are falling for him. That's a lethal combination that will be hard to overcome. These are the top plays from the opening half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Back to Ed and Jay to bring you the second half action.
Conley. Mitchell, tough matchup against George. Short jumper stays out.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock. To Favors. Joe Ingles. Surveys the floor. To Conley. Shot won't go. Beverly into the front court. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. To Marcus Morris. Shot clock winding down. It's George for 2. Paul George. He's now 5 for 6.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, Nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in the zone by himself.
Knocked loose. Clippers have got it.
Maybe pace it right here. They got a big lead at home.
Kawhi Leonard, deep two there, won't go. The follow won't go either. It's Jazz ball to Favors. Joe Ingles. Probing the defense. Shot clock winding down. Screen coming. Has a look. Off the mark. He's made those before, but that was well defended.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
To Leonard. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
A shot no good on the drive by Conley. George to Leonard. Referee blows the whistle. Jump ball coming. Well, as they get ready for the jump, someone's going to come away with the basketball. Utah's got it. Conley. Here comes the screen. Paul George swats it. Beverly into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. Patrick Beverly. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
You know, Ed, the effort is what concerns me the most. Effort is replenishable. If you're tired, raise your hand, check yourself out. Get somebody who actually wants to get back in transition and play some defense. That will help your team win the game, not you just staying in the game to be better on offense.
Conley to Joe Ingles. Rudy Gobert. Not shaken for the early struggles. Maybe this is a sign of things to come. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Leonard to Beverly. Off the assist.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
To Paul George. They'll get it down to Leonard. Kicks it around the perimeter. George buries it on the catch and shoot.
I know there are refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
Joe Ingles to Conley. Mitchell against George. Give him 2 points. High percentage.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Clippers have the basketball. Leonard to Beverly. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you'll be able to stop a great passing team.
Conley into the front court. Down a bundle. Joe Ingles to Conley. Has a chance, and he scores. Unguardable, Jay.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Leonard to Ibaka. Defense making the ball carrier. Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. Across the timeline, it's Conley. He'll run the offense. And watch him do the rest. Slam dunk.
An easy 2. Get back on defense.
It's LA Clippers ball. Paul George goes to the right side. To Beverly. Rudy Gobert sends it away. That's his 3rd block this evening.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Conley into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Count the basket. He's feeling good. Defense has to get him out of his comfort zone.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
George to Leonard. Able to convert inside.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
To Favors. Joe Ingles. Curling inside to Gobert. Rudy Gobert. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make. Now the Clippers call a timeout as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this 3rd quarter. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Beverly to George. Five seconds to shoot. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
To Gobert. That's no good. Nikola Batum. Better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Grayson Allen. Here comes the screen. To Allen. Cephalosha's shot, no good. Batum to Beverly. Can't connect.
Wait, I'm sorry. You get paid how much money to miss shots like that? That can't happen.
Clippers have it. Oh, the slam popped out to Favors. Easy path to the rim.
Ed, I have so much admiration for guys that continue to hunt their shot. They're playing the second half like it was the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Those natural-born leaders are guys that will consistently lead your team to the promised land.
To Paul George. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Had made his first couple, but he misses there. Utah with the possession. Grayson Allen to Favors. Joakim Noah sends it away.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Grayson Allen. Deep left corner. Here comes the screen. Grayson Allen. Trying to cash in, and he buries it on the step back. Jay, this move continues to evolve since the days of Allen Iverson.
It does so much, Ed. When you step back east or west while maintaining your dribble, look at all your options. Number one, a hezi. You look at the rim. The defender jumps. You blow by him. Number two, maybe a crossover in the same direction you just came from to throw the defender off. Or number three, a raise into an easy jump shot. It's easy when you have this bag of tricks.
And when the game's on the line, that's arguably when it's most dangerous. Changes coming from both sides right now. Leonard to Nick Batum. Leonard to Batum. It's Cephalosha with the rebound. Gobert stuffs it down with authority. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first three quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
To Allen. 5 to shoot for Utah. Shot by Crowder, no good. Deep three at the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end. The fourth quarter on the way. And a nice advantage right now for the Clippers. It's Utah basketball as we begin the fourth quarter, and they've really had very little go right for them on either end of the floor.
Remember that old line, your attitude determines your altitude? Well, when you see dejected faces on the sideline, that poor body language gave you an impression that they had no chance to win this game.
Rudy Gobert. Oh, 3 for 8. He's got to do better.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
To Leonard. And finishes strong. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
Scores from the post.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Here's Rondo with it. His guys holding the big lead. To Leonard. to Marcus Morris. Here's a chance from long range. That's off the side of the rim, short.
The 2021 NBA Playoffs 2-round games and highlights will be coming up next on Sports Groove AIM 2021.
A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Nothing going here on that drive. Leonard. Jay Crowder with the block.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Batum. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. The shot almost to Favors. Joe Ingles. Has a look. Gets a look. Can't hit. Beverly to Marcus Morris. Derek Favors with a piece.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Clarkson with the basketball. His guys down big to Joe Ingles. Has a chance. Ingles with a shot, no good.
Los Angeles Lakers led Series 2-0 over Portland Trail Blazers in the 2021 NBA Playoffs 2-round season 8 games.
Clarkson to Joe Ingles. Nothing going here on that drive. Short jumper stays out.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you in the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
No, great defense there, forcing the pickup. The drive, right to the basket. Took it down the lane, but it's no good. Grayson Allen to Favors. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. The result, he's going to the line.
Okay, now we're on the home stretch, and you got a big lead. Don't let your opponent back in this game by giving up extra possessions.
Derek Favors at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 66%. And hits the first free throw. And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. Beverly into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. Here comes the screen to Marcus Morris. Leonard to Beverly. Hat-trick Beverly. He's now 4 for 6.
This is why I go back into player mode. If the dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Joe Ingles to Conley. Gobert. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Mitchell. Another chance. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
See, Ed, that's what I love. You don't need to conserve your energy. You attack that rim with ferocity. You always set the tone.
Paul George to Leonard. George off the mark. No good. Ingles shot off the mark. To George. To Beverly. Leonard.
New York Knicks led Series 2-0 over Philadelphia 76ers in the 2021 NBA playoffs 2-round season 8
That's
games.
light work for a guy with his ability.
Conley into the front court. Down a bundle. Mitchell against George. To Conley. 5 to shoot for Utah. Conley. Now that's a contest.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Rudy Gobert tips it.
Series is now
That's out.
tied
Last
between
touch by
Miami
Rudy
Heat and
Gobert.
Brooklyn Nets in the
Looks like some
2021
substitutions are
NBA
coming on in.
playoffs 2-round season 8 games.
And scores.
This may sound cheesy, but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show, because that's what you're watching right now.
Conley to Gobert. Serge Ibaka able to recover with the block. Fourth this contest. Stays in bounds. Really good hustle. George to Marcus Morris. Nice pass to get things going.
You know, it reminds me, Ed, of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with the fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Conley to Gobert. Rebounds taken down by Leonard.
And you knew this game had a chance to get out of hand pretty quickly because of the communication. When these guys stepped on the court, Ed, they were yapping back and forth to each other. And that kind of communication, that kind of collective responsibility to one another, you feel that on the court. That's why this team is special.
And he knocks it down, Jay.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Paul George to Leonard. They get it to George, down low. Big slam. Oh, he looked like he was on a mission.
And Ed, not every pass needs to be a home run pass or thread the needle. Sometimes an easy kick ahead or an easy shuffle pass can make the game simple. The more simplistic the game is, the more efficient you'll be as a unit.
Able to convert inside.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was all-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
Patrick Beverly. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
I remember my high school coach said one man can't beat 5. Well, I'm telling you right now, he lied. I'm watching it happen in person.
Mitchell matched up with Paul George. To Conley. Here comes the screen. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Well defended. Shot no good. If it was anyone else, they'd be back on the bench for taking that shot.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Jazz have the ball. Conley. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Trying to cash in. Off the mark. He loves the tough shots, but that one may be too tough. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Looking to make something happen. The screen sets him up for 2.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Some players are just built to absorb the contact. He pretty much dusted that defender off like that was a bug at the park.
opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Conley gets to the basket and scores.
Okay, you don't get a 10 for style points, but it worked.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Nothing going here on that drive. Beverly to Leonard. Beverly. He's too good to leave that wide open. Defense has to communicate.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
Now ready with a couple of free throws.
Just because a team's winning doesn't mean the refs are going to put away the whistle. Play right all the way through.
Donovan Mitchell, a couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 80% at the line. First one goes down. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Layup's good. That's as high percentage as it gets.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Favors to Joe Ingles. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Has a look. Ingles with a shot. No good. Big finish at the rim. At this point, they're twisting in the wind.
Were you looking for a response from me? Because I don't really know what else there is to even say. I mean, is this even a game? I mean, we should just start packing up and getting ready to go right now.
Joe Ingles, the pass taken away by the Clippers.
I tried to work the clock here, but you have to take care of the ball in this possession.
A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go down. Conley into the front court. He'll run the offense. To Favors. Joe Ingles. To Conley. Going to launch beyond the arc. That's off the side of the rim, no good.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
It's the Clippers who come away with the victory. They've jumped down in front, 1-0 in this best-of-7 series. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Clippers were solid in today's victory, and the way they attacked the rim was outstanding. Not only is the dunk a high-percentage shot, it's also a great way to test the confidence of the defense. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Jazz didn't get the victory they wanted here today. And even though some of them smiled and shook hands with the other guys after the game, you could tell by the way they headed to the tunnels how disappointed they were about this loss. Here are the guys who put up the most points. For the Utah Jazz,
Game track. Assists.
the Utah Jazz definitely suffered from poor communication in this game. And I say that because of how many assists they gave up. The frustration among them was pretty obvious. Kawhi Leonard was behind the majority of those dimes. and deserves a lot of credit for having his passes on target and on time.
Player of the game.
Kawhi Leonard put up the kind of points that made him an easy choice for this award. He couldn't be stopped. And when he realized he was in his zone, he just took it to another level. Top plays, and we've got 3 of them for you.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.